Welcome to another video by PAAC. In this video, we guide you across the night sky and show you the various stars and constellations visible for the month of July. In this guide, we discuss the various stars and constellations visible at around 8 p.m. each night for the month of July. And the best days to view the sky this month is before the 12th of July or after the 25th of July, as there will be no moonlight to obstruct your views. Although it's monsoon season in India, we do hope that there are a few nights when the clouds will part and make way for you to look at the beautiful sky that's visible this month. So let's begin. This month, if you look at the zenith at around 8 p.m. each night, you will see a bright star shining very close to the zenith. This is the star Antares in the constellation of Bootes. We have discussed the constellation of Bootes in the previous video, and we know that it is in the shape of a kite with the Antares forming the base or the lower vertex of the kite. So once you've spotted Antares at the zenith this month, we will face towards the north and see what lies in the skies there. Face towards the north and you will see that the asterism Big Dipper is further rotated and is heading towards the northwestern horizon. The stars Dubhe and Merak, that is Kritu and Pulaha, are facing downwards now, and the tail of the Big Dipper or the handle of the ladle is pointing towards the Antares, which is high up in the sky. Once you've spotted Big Dipper, we'll look towards the west and you'll notice that the constellation of Leo is right there very close to the horizon. The star Regulus is almost setting near the western horizon, and the star Denebola is pointing towards the constellation of Virgo, which lies just between Antares and the southwestern horizon. The bright blue star that you see at the southwest is the star Spica from the constellation of Virgo or the Chitta Nakshatra, which we've discussed in the previous video. Between Virgo and the southwestern horizon, you will see a group of 4 stars forming a quadrilateral and a fainter star right next to one of the vertex of the quadrilateral, and that formation of 5 stars that you see is the constellation of Corvus or the Hasta Nakshatra in the Indian system. Below Corvus is the tail of Hydra, the Ajagara constellation, but the stars here are too faint for us to notice any shape. You also have the constellation of Crater there, but again the stars of Crater are too faint for us to identify them. So let's face towards the south and notice what lies in that part of the sky. You will still see the star Alpha Centauri, that's Regal Centaurus, and Beta Centauri, the star Hadar, shining brightly near the southern horizon. The Centaurus appears to be rearing this month with his front limbs raised high up, and between his forelimbs and the hind limbs, you will still see the constellation of Crux closer to the horizon this month. There's also a lot of faint constellations in this region. In front of Centaurus, you've got the constellation Lupus, the constellation Norma, the Triangulum Australe, and the constellation Ara and Telescopium, but none of these constellations have bright enough stars for us to make out any of these shapes. Above Centaurus lies the constellation of Libra with its 5 faint stars shining ever so slightly, and it's very hard to make up. However, if you look further from Libra towards the zenith, you will see a small shape of a serpent in the sky, and this is the Serpens constellation. Serpens is the only constellation that is split up into 2 because it is wrapped around the constellation of Ophiuchus. So we have the Serpens Caput and the Serpens Cauda constellations listed as one of the 88 constellations together. Once we've noted Serpens, because the stars in this region are not very bright, we will move towards the bright constellation in the southeast. It's hard to miss the shape. Between the Antares and the southeastern horizon, you will see a bright reddish star shining with 3 stars spreading away from this point towards the zenith, and towards the south of this red star, you have a couple of stars forming a curvature. This is the constellation of Scorpius, the scorpion. The constellation of Scorpius is exactly opposite of the constellation of Orion in the celestial sphere, and this is attributed in the Greek mythology that this scorpion was the one that killed Orion in the first place. Therefore, placing both of them in the night sky, Zeus decided that they would not lie in the same part of the sky and therefore would be opposite and not harm one another again. So, just like Orion, this constellation of Scorpius is magnificent and hard to miss and is one of the most beautiful constellations that's visible in the night sky. In this constellation, among the three stars that form the head of the scorpion, the star in the middle, the star Delta Scorpio or Juba, is the star Anuradha in the Indian system. At the tip of the tail of the scorpion is the star Shala or Lambda Scorpio, and it is called the Mula Nakshatra in the Indian system. And the bright red star in this constellation that's hard to miss is the star Alpha Scorpii or Antares. Antares is also called the Jesta Nakshatra in the Indian system, and it is a star located 553 light years away. This star is also attributed to the insight that the ancient Indian astronomers had because the word Jesta means large. The star Antares is so huge that its radius is 650 times the radius of the sun. That is, if you calculate the volume, then you can fit in 271,630,000 suns inside Antares. So, this shows that the ancient Indian astronomers had an insight to know that this star is shining brightly because it's so large. The stars Anuradha or Juba or Delta Scorpii is located 400 light years away from us, and the star Shala is located 571 light years away from us. This month, you will see the Scorpio in the southeastern horizon around 8 p.m. each night, and as the months pass, the Scorpion will dominate the southern skies in the months of July and August. And as it sets in the month of October towards the western horizon, we will see Orion rise from the east. Towards the southeastern horizon, you have the constellation of Sagittarius rising up, but we will discuss Sagittarius in the future episodes. Towards the eastern horizon, you have a lot of tiny constellations like the constellation of Vulpecula, Sagitta, Delphinus, Equus, and you see a bright star just above the eastern horizon, that is the star Altair. Altair is a star from the constellation of Aquila, and we will come to these stars in the future videos as they rise up high in the night sky. In the northeast, you will see two bright stars slowly making their way up the sky, of which the brighter star is the star Vega in the constellation of Lyra, and the second bright star in the northeast that you see is the star Deneb in the constellation of Cygnus. As we circle towards the north, we see that a small group of faint stars have occupied the northern part of the sky, lying to the east of Big Dipper, and this is the constellation of Draco. Draco is called the Suyodhana Nakshatra Punja in the Indian system, and above Draco in the north, you will find a group of four stars forming a torso and a few other stars that form the hands and legs of the warrior Hercules. This is the constellation that you can spot towards the north of northeast this month, and just next to Hercules, between Bootes and Hercules, is a small group of stars forming a crown shaped arc that is the Corona Borealis constellation. In India, we call it the Uttara Kirita Nakshatra Punja. So, with all the stars covered that are visible this month, we hope the skies do clear on some days in this monsoon for you to spot them and enjoy the night sky. July is also the month where the Earth approaches aphelion, which is the farthest distance the Earth will be from the Sun. This is the point when we know that the sun lies in the constellation of Gemini, right below the stars Castor and Pollux. We associate this time of 13 days the sun spends below Castor and Pollux as the Punarvasu duration. In the Indian almanacs, sun being in Punarvasu is the time when we have heavy rains in the country. As the earth moves forward in this path, we see that from our perspective, the sun appears to spend 13 and a half days in each of these nakshatras of the 27 nakshatra system, and the sun will slowly move towards the nakshatra of Ashlesha and head towards Makha nakshatra in Leo. The duration when the sun is close to Makha, Pubba are the duration when India is known to have heavy rainfall, that is in the month of July and August. So, it is important to know the position of the sun as it is an indicator of the seasons and the monsoon, which helps farmers plan their crops and the harvest. Similarly, the moon also spends about a duration of a day with each of these 27 nakshatras, and that becomes the Indian calendar system. With the moon passing by 27 nakshatras or lunar mansions in this system, the stars which are very close to the moon during a full moon, that is, on a night of a full moon, the star that you see right next to the moon is what gives the name of the month in the lunar calendar system of India. For example, the months where the full moon occurs near the star Makha is the Magha Masa. Similarly, when the full moon occurs near the star Chitta, it is Chaitra Masa, which is the first month of the Indian system. As the moon approaches the constellation of Libra, and as the full moon occurs near Vishakha, we have the Vaishakha Masa, and similarly, Jeshta Nakshatra, which we see this month, leads to the month of Jeshta Masa. This is how the 12 nakshatras out of 27 give us the 12 names of the months in the Indian calendar system. So, night sky is full of observations that you can make which will help you keep track of time. This month, if the skies are clear, you will notice a faint white band across the sky moving from the south to the northeastern horizon, and this gets brighter as it approaches the tip of the tail of Scorpio. We will shed light on this white band in the coming episode, and with this, we will conclude this month's episode of the Guide to the Night Sky. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it with your friends who love astronomy just like you do, and click that like button so that the YouTube algorithm will let others also enjoy this video. This is Atul signing off for the month of July. Clear skies.